Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to LaughingPlace.com's discussion of D23 Brazil, the inaugural celebration in Sao Paulo. And it's day 3, and our very own CEO, Ben Breitbart, and our entertainment writer, Alex Rife, have been there for all 3 days. And it's been exciting. We've had some Disney parks information coming out, a little further details on some of the stuff we'd seen announced in Anaheim. We've had some fun exploration of upcoming Disney animated features. Nothing particularly earth-shattering, no huge breaking news, I'd say, right, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that this, we're coming off of D23, classic or whatever you want to call it, a couple months ago. So I don't think nobody, there's always people, but was expecting anything completely earth-shattering. No,
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't cover anything that was like local Brazilian productions. Disney Plus obviously has localized content, which may have had a little bit more, announcements, but I don't speak Portuguese. I've never heard it. So, not really my cup of tea. But in terms of the stuff that we like, I mean, there were some few details that we got, but not exactly, not as much as an announcing event as it is just sort of a celebratory event.
Regarding the overall schedule of the event, I know that with D23, the mothership, I'll call it, you'll have like 4 and 5 seminars happening at the same time. Was there that kind of overlap as far as presentations with the D23 Brazil?
No, so there's the main arena where they have presentations one at a time. Parks presentation was the 2 studios presentations, and today's Disney Plus presentation. Then they have another stage that they call the Moment Stage, which is I forget what they called it this year, but it used to be called Center Stage, or the live stage, or sort of like it's in the ballroom. You don't wait, no sitting. It's just sort of things would happen. So there, I know they've done like ESPN talent has been there. Stuff about Marvel Rivals, the video game. So, sort of that more fine-tuned content has been there.
Okay. But today in the big arena was kind of what I will call small screen Disney, right? That's
Disney Plus.
What we did. Disney Plus. Okay. So what's
Disney Plus, but not anything made by the studios. So no Marvel, Star Wars, or anything like that. No win or lose, but stuff that would come from the television group at Disney.
So things kicked off with a discussion of Percy, which I think is represented on your gear.
Yeah, I now have a shirt to remind me how to say Camp Half-Blood in Portuguese. So
cool.
Pimento, I believe, means whatever this says. Mio sangue probably means half-blood, or the equivalent idiom.
So any particular so the cast was joining from offsite?
Yeah, so they're filming right now in Vancouver. See behind her a new set for season 2. So you got Rick Riordan and the 3 main kids from the show. And yeah, they were kind of, I think, shocked about the popularity. There was a lot of Camp Half-Blood shirts. This is something that really resonates with the Brazilian audience. And they talked a little bit about that, how they discovered how popular the show and books are in Brazil.
Okay.
And then so they showed off some props from season 2. Walker, who plays Percy, said that like the sword's a little bit bigger because he's a little bit bigger.
Wait, so you're saying that because the kids have grown, they've actually adapted the prop sizes?
According to Walker, yeah. So
yeah, no, I love that. Okay, that's cool. That's fun.
Yeah, and then the big sort of announcement out of this was that Andra Day is playing Athena, so she will be joining the cast in season 2.
And if you want to discover more about that, visit LaughingPlace. You can read about that news. Let's see, what am I doing? I've got all kinds of stuff opening up over here. Sorry. let's see. I'll scroll over
Oh, that's
to.
cool. We didn't get to see that image. That's new. That
I
they didn't show
wanted.
us that.
Oh, this image of Andra.
Yeah. So.
I wanted to let everyone know that if you stop by LaughingPlace and hit the tag D23 Brazil, you'll see all the headlines in a singular place, kind of letting you know all the news and information, the recaps that our team has put together out of D23 Brazil. I know some videos are still in the midst of editing. Obviously, a good way to follow us is our socials, and we have jumped over at Blue Sky as well. So if you've decided to utilize that social network, we're over there. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and now also more actively on Blue Sky, which brings us to the next panel, and that would be next portion, which was Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, so Vincent Martella apparently is huge in Brazil. I guess his role on Everybody Hates Chris has made him. There's like I guess a fan campaign, so he got over like 3 million Instagram followers thanks to Brazilians. So he's a huge deal here. But it was so funny because they would sing along Phineas and Ferb theme song like in Portuguese, like that was their walk-up music, and they would just like they couldn't start the show until they finished, and including the Portuguese equivalent of "Mom," Phineas and Ferb making a title sequence. So it's also interesting to hear the pronunciation of Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Yeah, no, a lot of love here for Phineas and Ferb, which I didn't. You don't know necessarily what resonates with different cultures, you know. And so it was neat to see how much they were excited for the upcoming season.
Now, was this a panel where you were able to capture some video?
Yes.
So be sure to stay tuned to this YouTube channel, because that means you'll be able to hear some of the reaction and comments by Dan Povenmire, Jeff Swampy Marsh, along with Vincent Martella from the D23 Brazil.
Yeah, they showed the same thing from New York Comic Con, which is the opening dance number from the show for that kicks off the next summer. Kind of has like a what time is it from High School Musical 2 vibe, where it's like they're all waiting for the end of summer and they're like, hey, we can start early so we can have 104 and a half days of summer. And they all sort of do a dance thing. The teacher seems to be oblivious and ambivalent, I should say. And they start a whole dance thing through Danville, so it's fun. And I guess Dan was busy. He has this and Hamster and Gretel, and so like didn't have time to like fully storyboard the dance numbers. So he reached out to some choreographers he met on TikTok. So they were able to interlace like the dance that they did for him, and then show the animation so you could see how it inspired the. Because he sent them the song, they did the dance, and then they animated it based off of the choreography.
Oh, I love it. So it was TikTok sourced.
Yeah.
That's epic. Okay. So upcoming season of Phineas and Ferb. We knew that was coming. So excited. I am a big Phineas and Ferb fan. I can't wait. So yeah, very cool. Moving to something in kind of the music documentary and a realm of entertainment I am not that familiar with. So this is a BTS member. I don't know if that means current or was or is. Like I say, this is an aspect of entertainment I am not that familiar with, but this musical documentary is heading to FX. So
no, Disney Plus.
I'm sorry, you're right, Disney Plus. Disney Plus. And so lots of excitement around it, and they shared a little bit more information about it with the Brazilian.
And then there's a Korean drama called The Light Shop. The challenge for us on this one is it was in Korean with Portuguese subtitles, so we were sort of completely unable to, and we didn't want to report wrong information, so we sort of just kept our mouth shut. And I mean, as it should be, it's just for the Brazilian guests, but it was, I don't know what they gave a debut date for The Light Shop, but I'm not quite sure if I understood it right, so that's why it's not in there. But yeah, they kind of had a whole segment on the Korean content on Disney Plus, which is also available in the United States. Just I mean, I was thinking about it's like, well, yeah, it makes sense. They watch all this American content in a language they don't speak. Why would it be any different to watch Korean content in a language they don't speak? We in America, we sort of have this like anti-subtitle thing, but
that is really changing though, dramatically. Yeah. I think especially with the Netflix. I want to lay the blame on Squid Games.
That's not blame. I mean, that's good. It's okay. There's not it's good that.
I guess I should say credit. I don't mean it negative, so I should say I will give the credit. That's the better way to put it. Because definitely, I've grown up with subtitled TV, so the credit.
Good story is a good story.
Speaking of subtitles, what show are they talking about here?
The Bear. Bear's huge here. One of the biggest exhibits is a bear sort of puzzle chef experience thing
on the show floor.
On the show floor. So two of the stars from The Bear popped over, and they, this was obviously in English, so told stories about cooking on the chef. So you had Liza Colon Zayas, who plays Tina, and Lionel Boyce, who plays Marcus from the show. So they talked about the news here, but just talked about what it's like to work with all that great food on the show. There's a whole food production team that has to be there to make sure food looks good and be good. So interesting sort of thing I didn't think about, but obviously it's a big part of the show.
One of the tidbits that I noticed on our X post was that even though the show it's a super intense show, that there's a lot of cutting up once it's like cut, and then it sounds like the environment becomes much more lighthearted and a lot of fun, even though show itself
isn't it technically a comedy? At least that's what's nominated.
No, I made that mistake the first time I watched. Did you not know this?
No.
I was like, oh, I want to watch something lighthearted, and I was scrolling through it. I saw The Bear, and it was listed as comedy. I'm like, oh, I keep hearing good stuff about it, but not anything specific. So I click on it, and about 5 minutes in, I'm like, okay. So then I had to Google why is The Bear a comedy? I was like, okay. So yeah, so I haven't returned to it with the proper mindset because I turned it off because I was in the mood for something lighthearted. So I will have to check it out again. Speaking of serious drama, we have been covering this show for a very long time.
Serious drama. The massive gravitas of Grey's Anatomy.
I feel like every episode of Grey's Anatomy had that, on a very special. That's how it always felt.
But I mean, this show's been on for 20 seasons, which is funny because I remember going to ABC Primetime Preview Weekend, and I think they actually mentioned it here because, anyway. So, and these two are two of the people who are still on the show from the beginning. Richard Perkins, and Chandra Wilson, who plays Dr. Bailey, and Dr. Richard Webster from the show, been on since the beginning. So. I mean, that to me, it's not like, this is not like the new doctor who they somehow got to convince to go to Brazil. These are two real stars of the show, which I thought was really impressive. And they told the story about the ways they got realized that they were getting popular was they went to an ABC event where there was signings and photos, and they realized their line were a lot longer than some of the other show lines. And that's when they realized that they were popular.
Wow. I still can't get over the how long Grey's Anatomy has been part of the headline aggregation that we do, that originally we did here at LaughingPlace. Now we craft a lot of our own content, but back then we were very heavy on the headline aggregation. So yeah, Grey's Anatomy still here.
Yeah, it was a mid-season. I think it's just funny. And they love Grey's Anatomy here apparently. It was interesting because, I know internationally the Disney brand doesn't have the family connotation that it does in the United States. That's really a United States thing. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see all these diverse shows and Verb to Alien get sort of the same reaction, whereas some of these things, if you did a Disney Plus presentation at Disney, would be like, no, that's not really what I meant. That's not what I think when I think Disney, but here they don't have that sort of
delineation.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Speaking of which, Alien Earth, this is a series that is a prequel.
I guess so. It takes. They said the year takes place 2150. I'm not sure when the rest of Alien takes place.
30 years
So
before the original Alien has been my
okay, then
understanding.
they didn't mention none of that. Well, I shouldn't say it, but I don't know what they said. So
Okay.
but they showed a key art which we can't share, and then they shared like calling it a trailer is maybe a little bit generous, just sort of like a emotion thing, like a yeah.
This is a previous report that we had, and I just thought I'd pop it up there so
Yeah,
to
but
let
that
people.
image, yeah, that image is one of the images from the sort of sizzle, I guess, or whatever you call it. Just sort of like it was just like images kind of flashing.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know anything about the plot. Coming to Disney Plus or
FX.
internationally on Disney Plus in 2025, probably Hulu in the United States. So not a lot of detail. Noah Hawley, the man behind the show, who's done some sort of critically acclaimed work on like Fargo on FX, is behind this show. So we'll see. I mean, I have no. They gave no real information. This was sort of the and one more thing, kind of a brief tease of something that is coming in the future. So
And
more to come on this one.
And once again, if you click on the tag here, if you're a fan of Alien Earth, you're looking forward to it, click on the tag there. And as we get new information, whether it's images, teasers, additional cast news, it'll appear on that page, and you can stay up to date on all things Alien Earth. So is that, I think that wraps it up, right? As far as D23 Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going on as we speak, but as far as we're concerned,
As
because
far
we
as
got
what
it
we have so
ready.
far. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, day 3, it was. This was astounding. I mean, the amount of tears I saw, tears of joy, was really cool. I was talking to somebody at Disney, and we're just talking about like you don't get. It's not like you have Disneyland in your backyard, or here. I mean, not that they can't go to Walt Disney World. It's not a. It's a big investment for them, and to get something like this here, it means a lot to people. And the fandom is intense. I mean, I think we're used to seeing that from our friends in Japan, but there's Disney, I think, in many ways is universal. I mean, no pun intended, but being able to see the joy that they get of, if you're an American, you came to this, you'd be like, I heard all this in Anaheim. Like, I mean, not there's not cool moments, but this isn't for you. This is, we're here because we're reporting on it, but it's nice to see that they get to feel special, and I mean, the amount of photos I've seen Michael Vargo take, who we see all the time at D23 events across the states. He's a celebrity. Josh D'Amaro, celebrity. Kevin Feige, celebrity. I mean, you could take the fandom of all the celebrities we just talked about today that were at this Disney Plus thing, add them all together, and they would be a tenth of the fandom of Kevin Feige. Like, Kevin Feige is
like a rock star there, huh?
Like a rock star, yeah, like Walt Disney. I mean, and same thing with Josh D'Amaro. I mean, no bigger, even the celebrity Anthony Mackie, a literal Avenger, didn't get the same reaction Josh D'Amaro got, and that's no knock on Anthony Mackie. That's just he's he is.
There's a passion for the dreamers that are responsible for the doing that we all enjoy, I guess.
And I think it meant something to them that they came here. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that, all these, when you do a new show, you do these global tours, or a new movie, and they go do their 2 hours, 3 hours. Spend 3 days in Brazil talking to guests, talking to many, you don't see a lot of pin lanyards, but you saw a lot of people wearing Disney World name tags, because they were so proud that they were part of cast. They were cast members, and part of me was like, you're not supposed to wear that when you're not working. But then part of me is like, no, it's really cool. It means that much to you.
Yeah, totally. I love it. I was going to say not only that, but they in essence set up a venue where they could have a party together. It was a chance and a reason to all be together. And there's something to be said for community and congregating. So yeah, excited about what's come out of D23 Brazil. I know that we'll have additional coverage over the hours and days ahead here as we compile the assets that Ben and Alex have provided. And I'm sure Alex is going to be feverishly working on some recaps of the presentation he's attending. Anything specific that we should be, that topic-wise, that's on the horizon coming to LaughingPlace because of what's happening right now at D23 Brazil?
No, I mean, I don't think, I think this is sort of a kickoff for a very busy period for us. Obviously, we have the holidays at Disneyland Resort. We have the opening of Tiana's Adventure. We've got Disney Treasure stuff coming.
Yeah.
Moana 2, Alex has started his features on that, but there's a lot more to come on that. Mufasa, the Lion King, we just got sort of information about that we'll be sharing soon. And the opening of Island Tower. So there's a lot in the next few months, or through the end of the calendar year.
And then in essence, kind of taking a look at the past few days here at LaughingPlace. In addition to the D23 coverage, we were at the first evening of the 2024 Jollywood Nights season. So you can check out the reports on LaughingPlace about what Jeremiah found there different from last year's inaugural season, and what was the same, and some of the highlights. He also recently stopped by Disney Springs and did a deep dive into all the holiday experiences that are available at Disney Springs. You can find that at LaughingPlace. Tony Betty shares Disney TV animation news. He's here every week, keeping you up to date and taking you a little deeper into what's happening there. And Marshall, oh wait, I forgot. We also have some information over at Animal Kingdom, taking a look at the Dino Institute decorations because the Santa Claus meet and greets heading there. And also Marshall with some ABC recaps, bringing you the latest on the really fun and really strange, but I'm enjoying it, what I have caught of Dr. Odyssey. So be sure to check out laughingplace.com. We have a breadth of Disney news and information. You were going to say something, Mr. Ben.
No, I was going to say we got some Moana news this morning, I think, with her new look for the parks.
Oh, that's right.
Which I haven't really looked at yet because I was.
Oh, well, hang on. Let me pull it up for you. I can do that. Here you go.
I'm not used to seeing these things on a Sunday morning, but hey, whatever works.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Oh, that looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, she has her necklace from the new film. Yeah.
Yep, a new look. By the way, we also have item of the day. You can see right now we're highlighting a Bobble Bar headband, little reindeer thing. It's got the little bells along the sides. So,
and I would say that these Disney Plus ears are the equivalent of like the 2000 pin. I feel like I can like wallpaper my house with Disney Plus ears. Like I was so excited to get them, my first pair, and now I can't not get them.
I don't have that rendition yet. I still have only.
You will soon. You will have on Wednesday. You will have what they call this Aurora Disney Plus ears.
Okay, so I'm eager to get
these were on the seats as we walked in. We didn't get the light up band this time, but we got these instead. So I think
light up band was only for yesterday.
They did them every day except today. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
So
thanks very much for tuning in for the recap of day 3 from Brazil, and we look forward to seeing you all around. We will not be having Disney Parks Talk tomorrow, being Veterans Day, but we will have a morning news update. So be sure to tune in tomorrow morning for the latest Disney headlines with our site editor, Kyle Burbank, and site founder, my husband, Doobie Mosley. With that, I will say have a great rest of your day.
Obrigado.
Bye.